first in HD. 11 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brad Woodard. Greg Hurst and Len Cannon are off tonight. The blast hurt 6 workers, but now we've learned that a 7th worker was killed. Crews found that person's body under the debris several hours after the explosion. The blast also forced 200 people to evacuate the area around the facility as a precaution. 11 News reporter Courtney Zabowski joins us live from the plant. Courtney, what took so long to get to the worker who died?
Well, Brad, the plant manager told us that they thought they had accounted for everyone. They didn't realize this woman was missing, but once they cleared everything and they went back to where this explosion happened, they started clearing the debris, and that's when they found the woman's body. How this happened, well, here's how plant officials are explaining it to us. The fire started around 6:30 this morning in a heat exchange unit. More than 200 people were evacuated from the plant. Meanwhile, 6 Goodyear employees were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Back here at the plant, fire investigators worked to put out the fire. At 11 this morning, employees were given the all clear to go back to work. The plant manager says supervisors followed the plant's accountability procedures and they believed everyone had been accounted for. Obviously, that wasn't the case. They found the woman's body at 2 this afternoon. The plant manager called what happened a gap in Goodyear's accounting system.
There were people that were responsible for identifying this individual that had seen them earlier this morning and was confused at the exact timing and had reported this person that they had seen him when in fact they had not.
Investigators are not yet releasing the woman's name. A crew from out of state is coming in to try to figure out how this happened and how Goodyear could fix its procedures so this does not happen again. The cause of the explosion is still under investigation. We're live tonight in Southeast Houston. Courtney Zabowski, 11 News.
All right, Courtney, thank you very much. We've been looking back at the plant's history, and here's what we found. OSHA has a number of serious violations there in the past, 2 in October of 2000, 5 in January of 05, and 4 in November of 06. There was also another death at the plant in 1999. And Air 11 was the only crew to capture these pictures of a racing boat that capsized in the Gulf Friday night. Salvage crews lifted the Cynthia Woods to dry land. A crew from the Texas A&M sailing team was in a regatta when the vessel started taking on water. 5 sailors survived. A 6th man did not. 53-year-old Roger Stone will be laid to rest tomorrow. We caught up with a boat expert who did inspections on the school's fleet. He told 11 News reporter Rosa Flores this tragedy could have been prevented.
I've been in some part of the marine business all my life.
Dick Frenzel knows boats.
I see things that the normal person doesn't see.
So he can't help but notice
It's those little things.
the little things that go a long way.
Survivors just below the aircraft. Survivors coming up.
But in the case of the A&M sailing team that lost a crew member,
The loss of life could have been prevented, yes.
this marine expert who inspected boats for A&M a couple of years ago noticed the big things.
The boat wouldn't have passed the survey anyhow because it was lacking a lot of the common safety equipment that is found on a boat that's going on an offshore voyage, and especially on a race.
In a news conference, we heard about the safety gear on board the boat. 4 life jackets for 5 survivors.
We all ended up in the water and we immediately got together.
University officials say a keel failure caused the accident, and they're waiting for an investigation to reveal when the boat was last inspected.
If there was a problem with a keel, there is a very good chance that a good surveyor familiar with this type of vessel would have been able to note something that would give him an alarm.
For what it's worth,
It's the little things.
that's the opinion of an inspector who knows his boats. In Southeast Houston, Rosa Flores, 11 News.
The son of island native and billionaire George Mitchell owns the company that built the Cynthia Woods. It's called Cape Fear Yacht Works, and it is based out of North Carolina. The Galveston County Daily News sent us this company statement. Cape Fear Yacht Works is very saddened by this tragedy. Our heartfelt condolences go out to Roger Stone's family, friends, colleagues, and students. Well, from tragedy on the sea to remembering those who died in an air accident, today loved ones, co-workers, even total strangers are remembering a medical flight crew killed in a helicopter crash on Sunday. They all worked for PHI Air Medical Group. The 3 were transporting a patient from a hospital in Huntsville headed to Memorial Hermann when the chopper went down in the Sam Houston National Forest. And 11 News reporter Kevin Reese is live in Bryan for the memorial service. Kevin, what do you have?
Well, we are outside the First Baptist Church in Bryan, a church big enough to land 8 helicopters on the lawn behind me. That was just part of the tribute today to 3 fallen heroes, a tribute that brought other heroes from every corner of Texas here today. Now, of those 8 helicopters that landed, the last one carried the flight gear, the helmets of the crew that died on Sunday. That part of the funeral procession, that part, one that stretched 4 miles through Bryan and Brazos County, that part was carried out in silence. Emergency responders came here to support the PHI family. They filled the First Baptist Church here in Bryan, and patient David Disman's picture was on display here too. His family told us they too consider the flight crew heroes for what they were trying to do when that helicopter went down on Sunday morning.
The lives of Jana Bishop, Wayne Kirby, and Stephanie Waters are now legend, and they have become pieces of our own.
Now, as the NTSB begins its investigation into the cause of that crash, and they do believe that weather may have been a factor on Sunday, there will be 4 individual funerals over the next 4 days, including the funeral for that patient, David Disman, that one on Saturday in Huntsville. For now, live in Bryan, Kevin Reese, 11 News.
All right, Kevin, thank you very much. Houston police are waiting for autopsy results of a woman whose body was found near the future site of the Houston Fire Department Station 24. That's on Reed Road. She was wearing a blue and black reversible basketball jersey with the words Mustangs and basketball and the numbers 31 and 1997. If you know anything, please call police. Well, the state of Texas is in the process of executing its first inmate since the Supreme Court approved lethal injections 9 months ago. Carl Chamberlain raped his Dallas neighbor, bound her with duct tape, and shot her in the head with a military rifle. He never denied his guilt and once told a reporter his only regret was not taking his own life. Well, the Trans-Texas Corridor decision is on the books, but now what happens inside of the city of Houston is a huge question mark. TxDOT says it's possible that the corridor would link up with Highway 99, also known as the Grand Parkway, because the law says that the state can't convert a free road into a toll road. TxDOT would have to add new lanes if it wanted tolls. But all of this is up in the air because TxDOT says it still doesn't know where the Trans-Texas Corridor might go once it reaches Harris County.
It's still an unknown, and there's just too many partners that we have to work with to make that decision.
TxDOT said it is still years from figuring out where the Trans-Texas Corridor might go when it reaches Harris County. Local officials tell us that by law, the state must consult with them first. Well, the airlines may be struggling with rising fuel costs, but some pilots are out on the street saying they're struggling too.
Our families can't take this much longer.
You'll hear what the pilots are asking for right now.
I can't for the life of me understand what would motivate someone to do this.
The governor gets his first look at the damage done by an arsonist. Plus, see how the widow of Enron founder Ken Lay has ended an ongoing fight with her neighbors. Delivering more stories that you won't find anywhere else. 11 News at 6.
Welcome back. Governor Rick Perry says he is devastated about the fire that tore through the governor's mansion. He says he'll do whatever it takes to rebuild. The governor got a first-hand look at the damage last night. Today, he spoke publicly for the first time since Sunday morning's fire. Investigators believe the fire was intentionally set. They say surveillance video shows a person of interest. Officials are trying to determine if the fire started on the front porch. There is a V pattern of damage going from the floor toward the ceiling.
When we found out that it was an act of arson, you know, this violation, if you will, of this great and venerable home, at that particular point in time, it went from heartache to pretty damn mad, to anger. And my instinct is that most Texans feel the same way.
Governor Perry also said that the mansion is salvageable. He and his family were not living in the 152-year-old landmark because it was undergoing massive renovations. The widow of Enron founder Ken Lay has reached a settlement with her neighbors. A lawsuit had accused Linda Lay of not paying more than $100,000 in building dues at the Huntington in River Oaks. Attorneys on both sides agreed Lay had paid every penny. She is still fighting an attempt by the federal government, however, to seize nearly $13 million from her late husband's estate. That includes the upscale condo. Well, we're waiting to learn what caused a sperm whale to beach itself along the Texas coast. The 30-foot-long whale washed up along the shore on Mustang Island yesterday. Veterinarians gave it enough tranquilizers to knock out several elephants. They say it had to be euthanized because it was too big to transport for rehabilitation. Well, they're in uniform, but they're not going to work. Instead of hitting the skies, these Continental pilots hit the picket line. We'll explain why.
He worked at NASA for 8 years developing weather technology for the space shuttle. Gene Norman, only on 11 News at 6.
Continental pilots hit the picket lines this morning, but they're not walking out the job. They're trying to send a message. It's a powerful message to company shareholders that despite the uncertainty facing the industry, the needs of pilots and their families cannot be ignored. The pilots staged 2 events today with an unprecedented turnout, and although they're still waiting to find out how they will be affected by the major cuts Continental announced last week, that's not deterring them from making demands. The company motto is work hard, fly right. And few would dispute that's exactly what Continental's pilots have done.
Now, I think I got 3 captains on this line.
Roger, 40 seconds.
Which is why they staged an informational picket at the airline's world headquarters.
Pardon me, sir, may I give you some information, please?
As the company's annual shareholders meeting took place across the street.
The truth of the matter is, we have not had a wage rate increase since October of 2001. When you factor in cost of living, we're going backwards.
We have 2 young boys, 6 and 9, and we'd like to start saving for their college, just like management is saving for their children's college as well. And we think it's only fair. The loan is due, and we'd like our stuff back.
The loan she's referring to is the $200 million a year in concessions pilots have made since 2005.
We expect now that those loans that we made to this company are paid back in full by the time this contract is due, and that's December 31st.
It may seem like the wrong time to make such sweeping demands, since Continental plans to cut 3,000 jobs and 11% of its domestic flight capacity by the end of the year. But pilots say it's the only time they have, since the airline is now developing its business plan for the next few years. The fact that 500-plus pilots and more than 100 family members turned out for today's events is testament to the resolve.
This is a cyclical industry. This is a solid company. It's a leading company in the airline industry.
And pilots say they should be compensated in an industry-leading manner. The union will learn how many pilots will be furloughed by the end of the week and is negotiating to reduce the impact through early out incentives. Continental, by the way, the stock took a beating today, falling $1.50 to close at $12.10. That's an 11% drop. Well, no bad news in the weather this afternoon. You're looking at a live shot from Galveston, and we're going to check in with Gene Norman. Gene, it's looking like it's going to be a beautiful end to the day.
Yeah, it really will be, Brad. You know, it is kind of breezy out there, and it's been hot, and although it looks nice on Galveston Island, we really could use some of that rain we saw yesterday. Our deepening drought situation continues to be a real concern, and today, well, we actually tied a record today at 95 after starting the day fairly normal at 72 degrees. Normal high this time of year is 70. Last time we hit 95 was 5 years ago, and then 5 years before that. So it has been a recent trend on this date to be having temperatures in the mid-90s. But the lack of rain day after day is really a concern. Yeah, I know we had those showers and thunderstorms yesterday, but that's the only rain we've really seen over the past couple of days. Normally, through this time of the year, we'd have about 21 inches of rain, but so far in 2008, we've been tracking it for you, we've had just barely over 17.5 inches. So that gives us a deficit for the year of about 3 1/3. So we're looking for more showers, and we do have a possibility for showers and thunderstorms to move back in toward the end of the week. But right now, it's just pretty pleasant outside. It's hot. And we've had a couple of these fair weather clouds drifting in on the southerly winds. Live look over downtown shows it's 89 degrees, but the humidity is up. Dew points are high at 70. That gives us a relative humidity of 54%. Throughout the day, dew points were in the mid-60s. That's one of the reasons why we saw the temperatures climb to the mid-90s. 89 right now, and those strong southerly winds continue to blow, and it'll be fairly breezy throughout the evening. It's been hot all across the state, too. Take a look at this. Look at these high temperatures. Amarillo hitting 102, Midland 104, Laredo 103, and El Paso at 100 degrees today. So clear over the state thanks to a large area of high pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere, keeping us from seeing any rain. But our optimism for the next couple of days is out here in the Gulf of Mexico, where we do have an area of low pressure just north of the Yucatan Peninsula. Not a tropical system, but at least tropical moisture heading our way. And our computer models, the long-range models, are picking up on this, painting this rain here in the areas of green, getting close to us on Friday. And then we'll see showers and thunderstorms during the day Friday. They'll die out Friday night, and then they'll reappear as we head into Saturday. So good chance for showers and thunderstorms to appear. That'll be Friday during the daytime and Saturday during the daytime, and then they'll kind of fizzle out for the second half of the weekend. Overnight tonight, we're not looking for any rain. It'll be a breezy, warm evening with fair skies, and temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Then for tomorrow, we'll start the day mostly sunny, muggy, 75 when you wake up. And during the afternoon, we probably won't see anything more than a stray isolated shower. Most of us are just going to feel that heat and the humidity with a high tomorrow of 93. No chance of breaking a record tomorrow. The record is 101. So on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the best day possible and 1 the worst day, well, what will tomorrow be? I call it the Norman number, and for tomorrow, I'm giving it an 8. The 5-day forecast shows another windy day for tomorrow, then the chance for rain Friday and Saturday. About a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. That should keep temperatures down. We'll only see highs of 90 degrees as we head toward the end of the week. Then we'll heat back up for Sunday and Monday. Don't forget, now is the time to get your KHOU Hurricane Preparedness Guide, sponsored by Centerpoint Energy, and it's available free at all Randall's, Carpet Giant stores, Keller Williams Realty offices. It's great, Brad, because it's chock full. He tried to say chock full of information, and we've got coupons here, all the good stuff you need to get ready for hurricane season.
You can stock up on things in the event of a storm.
That's right, batteries, bottled water.
I'm just curious, Gene, what is the lowest Norman number you've ever issued?
The lowest so far they've ever issued was a 4.
A 4? That wasn't here, though, right?
Yeah, it was.
Really?
A couple of weeks ago.
Okay. That's nice to see you. Thank you so much.
All right, you too.
Well, the Space Shuttle Discovery is heading back to Earth. The crew of 7 pulled away from the International Space Station early this morning. They flew around the ISS so they could take pictures of the newly installed Japanese lab. Discovery is set to land at Kennedy Space Center Saturday morning, 10:15 our time, and we'll stream that landing live on KHOU.com. And we want to invite you to participate in the Channel 11 Spirit of Texas Food Drive. It's going on now until July 11th. You can drop off non-perishable items to any Houston area Kroger, and they'll all go to the Houston Food Bank to help the hungry in our area. We're back right after this.
Hello, everybody. I'm Giff Nielsen. The Astros will look to make it 2 straight games against the Milwaukee Brewers in about a half an hour. Right-hander Brandon Backey is on the mound tonight. Earlier today, the team welcomed the Texans for some long ball practice at the 6th annual Home Run Derby for charity.
Kicker Chris Brown was one of the early favorites in the competition. He even used his buddy Darren Erstad's bat, but it didn't help.
It made me feel better because, I wasn't the worst hitter in the park today, so that's good.
10 different Texans took their hacks in the cage. Quarterback Matt Schaub hit 4 home runs, and fellow quarterback Sage Rosenfels hit 5 over the fence. But the best of the bunch was offensive tackle Eric Winston. The big lefty also hit 5 over the fence, but his included 3 upper deck blasts.
If he can hit the curveball, then he might have a contract. Yeah. I mean, that was pretty awesome display right there. I haven't even seen Berkman hit him up there.
I thought they were going to bring in the reliever so I can get the righty, but they kept the lefty in. So
has no effect on your football career, but hey, this would be a nice little bragging rights.
I wanted to come out here and play and hit well, so I'm glad I did.
Of course, winning the Texans Home Run Derby doesn't guarantee success on the football field. Let's not forget the best home run hitter in Texans history is former quarterback David Carr. At Minute Maid Park, Matt Musall, 11 News.
By the way, the Texans Reliant Energy Home Run Derby raised $30,800 for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Houston. Eric Winston is a beast. In NBA Finals story, the Lakers beat the Celtics in Game 3, 87-81 Tuesday night. LA is now trailing that series to Boston 2-1. Game 4 Thursday night also in California. However, the big story of the day is the Lakers' 2002 playoff series against the Sacramento Kings. Former NBA referee Tim Donaghy alleged Tuesday that the league rigged Game 6 to force a Game 7 and add to its revenue. The Rockets' 2005 series against the Dallas Mavericks is also mentioned in the letter as being fixed. That series went 7 games and the officiating was questionable. Commissioner David Stern called the accusations baseless. Donaghy faces up to 33 months in federal prison. The Astros sending Brandon Bakke to the mound tonight. It's important to win any time, especially when you're playing against teams within your division. Milwaukee is in the division.
All right, well, we'll wish them luck.
You bet.
Thank you so much, and thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. We do appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you back here